Hello, everybody. I'm making this video with Mike Lake because I want to talk about what it's like being an artist, being shut down from playing and teaching since April. And I must say, I'm feeling bad inside. On the outside, I'm fine. I'm healthy and I'm not sick. I have money. I have good friends. I have clothes. I have a warm house. But I'm in jail. I'm in a nice jail because I'm also older. I'm 73 and I have an underlying condition of diabetes and I'm at risk. So I can't go to restaurants. I haven't been in a restaurant for 8 months. I'm just saying I want to talk about what it's like to be an artist, an active artist, without the opportunity to play, without the opportunity to be an artist. I feel useless. I feel dysfunctional. I feel hurt inside. There's too much emotion that's stuck in there that usually comes out when I'm playing or teaching. And I'm also aware of how lucky I am in terms of position, right? There are a lot of people that are much worse off than me. But we all, pain is relative and we all have our own. So I thought if I did this, it wouldn't be just like, oh my God, please pity me. I thought it would help everyone that is feeling similar or the same kind of things to know that they're not alone. Now, people that know me, my friends of Dave Liebman and Kristen Scheuber and Regina Litvinova and John Schofield and Adam Nussbaum and Gregor Hoopner. I have good friends. All these people are artists working all the time for years and years and years. Let's be clear. I've been traveling and touring and recording since 1972, really. And I have many, many recordings and live performances. I've had a great life, and it's still great. But there was never a situation when I was off with no gigs for more than a month or two. And this is not a choice. This is shutdown. This is like a hurricane that wipes all the buildings, like an earthquake or a volcano that covers everything with lava. It's a no-go. Okay? I feel useless. And but that's recent because when it first started, I felt okay, I have to stay in. I'm not exactly a big going out guy anyway, except I do travel globally. The last gig I really did was in China with Adam, and Tim Higgins, and Gao, and Gates. It's funny in December, and then after that, a few little gigs and a couple of recordings, and then nothing. It's too dangerous. It's a communication, and plus, we had concerts booked and booked and booked, and they kept getting canceled and postponed, and then canceled again. And there's a feeling of musical loneliness. I cannot express the things that I usually express. And this I found out. I learned some things. For example, when I play, I'm 100% there. I leave everything on the stage. I give everything to the people. I give myself, right? That feels very good. And people respond to that. But when I'm not playing, see, when I'm not touring or doing gigs, I don't play the piano. I only play when I'm in front of people or recording. And I'm very blessed. I don't have to practice because I practiced so much until I was 40 that I actually have a brain in every finger. That's another story, but I'm lucky. I don't have to practice. Randy tells me if he doesn't practice for 3 days, the whole world knows it's a different instrument. The point is, I don't play music unless I'm performing, recording, or teaching. I love to teach, and when I have a student here, I play for him like I'm playing at Carnegie Hall because the job is inspiration. Okay. I find myself with all these emotions in me with no way to come out. So sometimes I'm watching TV or an action movie or an animal show, and there's a show on puppies, and there's a baby puppy, and the mother is crying, and the puppy's crying, and all of a sudden I'm crying like a little girl, a little boy, sorry. I'm crying, and it's not. Is it for the puppy? No, I don't think so. I don't know the puppy. It's me. Things get stuck. They have to come out, you know? And now we have vaccines coming. I'm probably going to get a vaccine because I'm older and I'm at risk, and that's great. But I don't have the vaccine yet. And just think about the realities. Okay, how long is it going to take the entire world to be, vaccinated? 8 billion people. Okay, let's say 4 billion people. It's going to take time. And then when people are vaccinated, my profession, my place of business, it's not an office. It's a jazz club or a small concert hall where strangers sitting next to each other don't know each other, not such great ventilation. Okay, who is going to go sit next to a stranger, risk getting sick, a cough, even with a vaccine, to hear us play? Who's going to do it? Will it eventually come back? I hope so. I think so. I'm a prisoner of hope, which means I'm a hopeful guy. But now I'm starting to not want to be hopeful because with hope comes possibility of disappointment. You get crushed. I wish I didn't hope. I don't want to be so eager and positive and like a cheerleader, which I usually am. Because every time you hope for something, you can get crushed. So what's the alternative? Not to feel anything, to cut off your feelings? Maybe. Is numbness better than this kind of pain? I don't know. I'm not thinking intellectually about this. I'm just talking about how I feel. Now, my friends also, and everyone, and tell me, well, what about online playing? What about this live streaming thing? It's great. Well, it's great for something like this, where we're talking. But for playing jazz music, for improvisation, no, not for me. I know people do it. I was asked to do it. It's wrong for me. I spent my whole life working specifically how to communicate my musical message to people in the same room. Recording's another thing. When you're recording, you're in a recording studio. It's like a laboratory. It's like an operating room. But you know there's people going to hear it. This is different. The beautiful connections that you make with people when you're playing improvised music or any music in a small place or a medium place, you connect with the audience. I can feel them. I know them after 50 years. We talk to them. We get feedback. We get applause. We get those beautiful silences. We get ovations. Or not, but there's a connection. You play to someone. You play to your friends. You play to the band, of course, first. But then there's another wall that gets uh, broken down to the audience. And then after 2 hours, you have a relationship with these people. I feel it. They come back after, and they want to tell you how they felt, and they want to tell you about their son who's playing the piano, and their daughter who got healed from listening to your records. This is very important feedback. I need it. I need to know that I'm making a difference and helping people. Forget it. You're playing in a room with the sound man, maybe your girlfriend or your wife, and the people, and there's no applause after. It's weird, and there's usually no money because the got people say, "How do you expect me to pay you?" There's no audience. Sometimes you get paid nominal. That's not the most important thing. So why do people do it? Some of my friends do it because it's better than doing nothing. That's maybe true for them, not for me. I think it's wrong. I'm probably wrong too. Maybe I would feel better if I did it more. No, Plus, it encourages some horrible shit. It encourages you staying in your house even when the vaccine's over. So, well, what do I have to go out to the snow and deal with a babysitter and a parking lot and 30 euros? Why do I have to do that? I can see the shit right here. It's fine. Now, I'm also conflicted, I must admit, because I use the computer every day now. It's become my friend. Like, hey, bro, how you doing? This is a computer thing. This is an online Zoom, which is great, which is making this catharsis that I'm doing happening. And don't I use YouTube all the time? Yes. Guilty. Mea culpa. I have a confession. I'm so lazy, I don't even get up to put a CD on anymore because everything's in the computer. And I have a nice speaker here. I put it on, listen to old Miles and Bill and stuff that people send me, that I send them. I'm blessed with that. I am blessed. But the solution, well, go do the online stream. It doesn't work for me. I'm just saying, just for me. I wish there was a certain level of certainty about when can we go back and play. When? Because a lot of the pain and a lot of the anxiety comes from not knowing, the uncertainty. Tell me when. Give me a date. And then I can say, okay, in 1 year, we have this. Can't say that. Can't say it. And of course, it's impossible to because it's not up to me or anyone. It's up to the virus and it's up to people, how people take care of themselves and how much they care about it. When I see hundreds of assholes in the street in Berlin or New York City protesting wearing a mask, I can't get my head around it. Freedom. Freedom. Yeah, you want freedom to die? Are you stupid? Plus, it's not even them. They can infect other people. It's the height of selfishness and ignorance. That makes me mad. That doesn't help. I just want to say, okay? When this first started, like I said before, I was okay because I was listening to music that I never had a chance or desire to. For example, I had a touring schedule where, like every couple of months, I wouldn't have a big tour, but some gigs or something to prepare for. On my piano, I would have piles of different music for different things. Something with Lieb, something with Gregor, something with Chris, something my own stuff, solo piano, or maybe WDR. Like piles of music to get ready for in advance, a year in advance, sometimes a year and a half in advance. I look at my piano every morning saying, wow, I have boom, boom, boom. Something to do. That's what you do in between gigs. That's what a musician does, an artist, right? For years. Leave too. Look at my piano now. There's nothing on it except old music, classical music. There's nothing on it. There's nothing coming for sure. This is terrible. It's like a wasteland. I feel like, and this is no one's fault. I feel like if I could know, like for example, we had the Quest tour in this November, that of course was canceled, and it was postponed from Saturdays. They're making it next November, like a November 21, and that would be fantastic. But it's always with a caveat, like if possible. And things keep getting moved back and back and back and back. So I can't count on that because that's hope. Maybe a year is not enough. Maybe it needs 2 years, maybe three to be safe for me. Maybe if I was young, like 40 and healthy with no diabetes or anything, I could do it. I can't. And it's not just me because I have to think for my friends that I live here. I can't jeopardize my friends. It's not fair to them. That's some selfish shit. I want to say that I admire the people that have to work every day, the bus drivers, the people in the grocery stores, the people in the restaurants that are preparing takeaway food, of course the hospital workers, cab drivers. Those are tough jobs. That's real work. Okay. What I do is work too. I mean, a 16-hour trip to Australia is not fun and then get off the plane and play. But it's a different kind of work. I love it. I love it. We play 2 hours a night and we travel maybe 6 hours, but it's worth it. It has been worth it. So I just want to say I'm very thankful for my blessings. I have many blessings. You, Mike, Blake, are one of my blessings, believe it or not, even though you play alto bone. I have great friends here, Christian and Regina and Claudia and Clara, and I'm lucky. And I have a nice pension from teaching 15 years in Leipzig at the Mendelssohn School as a professor. I have money. Also, I'm not spending money because I used to spend most of my money on food, on restaurants and gifts. No, so that's a good thing. But I want to let everyone know that I'm feeling what you're feeling, and it's okay to feel that. And hopefully, hopefully, there'll be a time when we can all go back to what we had before. 2019 was a great year, man. It was a great year for music. At the time, you would think, well, it wasn't as good as 1987 or 1980. Yeah, of course. But compared to this, we're lucky. So I hope it comes back. And thanks for listening. Thanks, Mike.
Richie, you've talked about the fact that your emotions are bottled up and it expresses itself in weird ways. Wouldn't just playing piano be a release for some of that?
Good question. And the answer is unequivocally no. Because so much of what I play is in front of people. I need that audience. I need even if they don't react, I need to know that I'm playing for someone. I don't like to play. I don't need to play for myself. It doesn't work. I tried. Believe me, I tried. I wish it did. When I was young, I would play for myself all the time because I was still learning how to play. Not learning how to play the piano. I knew how to play the piano. I was learning about myself, about what I wanted to express. It was great. I had something to do all the time. You might also ask, well, why don't you write music? It's a perfect opportunity. You have free time. Don't have to work. I mean, sit down and write some music. The answer to that is, I tried. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not hearing anything that's worth writing down. I have many, many tunes recorded and written that I've never even played. I love to write music. It's a great feeling of discovery. It's a mirror, like an audible diary. But when I sat down like a couple of weeks ago, I was trying to say, well, I got to write something. I wasn't hearing. And then last time I tried that, I found a nice melody. I said, oh man, this is great. Bing bong, bing bong. It was Night Lake, which I wrote in 1978, which I was writing the same tune again. So it doesn't help me to play for myself. I have no desire to do it. Now, if you came over here and sat in my room, I would play for you all day. Do you understand? The audience is a very important part. Or a student. I play for my students all the time. I love it. I can't teach now either. I can't teach. I can't have anybody else in the room. Can't do it. It's too much of a risk. It's like that's my problem, because of my age and whatever. And again, online teaching, sorry. I can do it once in a while for a favor, which I'm happy to do. But as a regular thing, no. I need to see the student's face in the room. I need to see their eyes. I have to be able to grab their hand and fix the hand position technically so they don't move their thumb too much. It's very cold. It's wrong for me. I know a lot of people do it. Online teaching, forget it. Then you could have 10 students. Leap told me he did something with 10 saxophone players from all around the world at the same time. Okay. Not for me.
But you did do a couple of recording sessions this year. You did a
I
solo
did.
piano, you did a movie score. How was that different? And how was that, I know you enjoyed it because we talked about it. What was that like?
I was very lucky to have a special circumstance with my friend Kurt Ranker, who was my producer, my patron, my friend, great guy. Used to be the head of CMP Records, sold the company, and now is an independent producer. We do a lot of our stuff for him, myself and Dave. He organized a solo piano recording for me and a film score. And but we had special circumstances. Usually because I can't get into a train or a plane, impossible. So this is July also, when the virus was not so insane the way it is now. He has a recording studio in his house, summer house in Zerkal, and an engineer, Florian, and a piano tuner, Aegon, and me. And that's it. It was four people. When you usually record in a recording studio, you have all the other people in the studio, the waitresses and the secretaries and the other musicians, and it's suicide for me in that situation. So he made it COVID friendly and COVID secure. He picked me up in his car. He was completely healthy, no virus. We didn't stop at a restaurant. We didn't stop anywhere. Came right to his house. It's his house with an amazing studio, so it's not exposed to anything. We did the recording. The recording came out wonderful. It'll be out someday. And also, as a way of making some money and for a great experience, he has a friend, Dominic, and Dominic made a movie called Fabian, which is about 1933 Berlin. A wonderful movie. I saw it, and he wanted music for it, a score. But I didn't want to write a score, and I didn't want to go through that process. And I suggested to Kurt to tell the director, how would he feel about an improvised score? So he would say, yes, let's do it. So we did it. After the solo record, we did it. He had the film on a computer. He put the computer on the piano, and he told me what he wanted, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at a time, what he wanted for this particular shot. Very intelligent guy. I forget his last name. Please forgive me. Dominic. And the film will be coming out. It's supposed to be for the Berlinale in February, which might be online. But it's a major picture, German picture. He gave me instructions about what he wanted in words. He was kind of an amateur musician. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. He gave me instructions, and I would play. I would improvise. For example, there are two Nazis getting out of a car coming into the restaurant, and the hero of the movie is a young guy sitting with a girl and the girl's father. And the Nazis are not in uniform. This is 1933. They're in like suits, but you can tell they're Nazis by the way they walk and the short hair. And they come in, and it's very tense. So he said, I would like some music. And I would just sit at the piano and play some things. And he would say, yes, that's great. I would do it. And then he would say, could you make it a little less sweet? I go, yeah. So, and then we would do a car chase, a very exciting car chase in Berlin. And I would play some very, fast moving stuff and hopefully not corny, but playing in my own style. So it was not like a movie music. It was just Richie's music, and he loved it. So we went for 2, 3 days like that. It was great fun. And he was also tested, and everybody was secure. And then Kurt drove me home. It was a great experience, and it was the last time I really was involved in music. That's July. I loved that situation, but it's so special, and there had to be so many special things for me to protect me because of COVID that it's not happening again. So now now we're in like the end of December. That was July. It's a wasteland here.
So I guess in closing, any thoughts, words of hope, words of wisdom for people that are feeling a lot of the same things you are?
Yes, I don't know about wisdom, but I could tell you one of the things that I do daily is count my blessings and really count them, write them down. It helps. And to appreciate what you have. I mean, I'm living on a survival mode here now, right? I'm fine, but it's survival. That's all. I have TV and I have books and I have listening to music. Listening to music is not so easy because it makes me want to play, and that hurts. And listening to myself play hurts the most. But I would just say count your blessings and be thankful for what you have. But by the way, that only goes to a certain point. And then, because we're human beings, and we always want something that we can't have, I appreciate a day where I don't feel bad. I appreciate my friends coming to me and bringing me something great to eat or a joke or a funny thing. You have to really learn to make more of the little things, which are big, by the way, the little things, the day to day things that are good. Also, for younger musicians who are still like in the process of learning repertoire or like really young, 25, 30, this is a great time to listen to all the things that you would want to if you had the time. If you're not going to school, if you're not doing gigs, listen to every Miles CD from the 60s. Listen to every one. Listen to all the Train CDs. Listen to Berg Piano Sonata. Look at the music. Look at it. Listen to the Berg Violin Concerto. Listen to an entire opera. You got time. That would be my suggestion to take advantage of the time in that way. This is not anything new. But I don't have to be truthful. I don't have so much hope. It's more of a possibility. There's a possibility that it will come back and be strong and be like it was. Because the entertainment thing and the people and it's like cinemas, movies. We're very similar to that. People sitting in enclosed places next to each other. You can't do social distance in a movie theater. What? Every 6 seats? They can't make any money. You can't do that in the club either. That's just money. It's basic ABC. So when will people feel secure enough to go in large groups, in crowds, which is fantastic? What's better for the jazz player than a packed house? Nothing. Makes me. I love that. I love it. Makes me want to play. Can we play well for a half of a house? Sure, we do. But I'm just worried that level of enthusiasm, that level of commitment from the audience. There'll always be a few hundred people in every city that will go through a thunderstorm, through electronic, through anything. But that's not enough. We need the crowd, and we need without the fear, without the fear of getting sick. Me too.
Well, I would say that the silver lining for me in all of this is I've had you as a captured audience where I can reach into that brain of yours and pull out great stuff and manifest it in writing and in a book, and that's been a blessing for me through all of this. And I think you've enjoyed it as well. I think it's been a little bit of a help for you because it's given you something to
It
do that's
has
been
been
interesting to
great.
you.
I told you that you were one of my blessings. You and the work that we did. I mean, also, the two books, but also we did about 12 articles that were very fulfilling for me, very interesting. I learned a lot of things, and feedback from people. It's always great to be active, you know. So I'm glad that it's been that way for you, because without you, I would have had a very cold, lonely time. We have a lot of good things, and I never met you. I never met you in the same room. It's funny.
Well,
In the 60s and 70s, there was something called pen pals. Are you old enough to remember pen pals? Where you made friends with someone from the newspaper, you never met them. Maybe they were in Japan or something. It's an extension of the mail order bride, kind of crazy shit. But what I'm saying is, you have a pen pal. So now that's what Twitter is, right? Social, social media. Okay.
all right, my friend. Well, I thank you for sharing all of that, and I think this will be seen by a lot of people, hopefully, and maybe help them and realize that they're not the only ones feeling the things that you just expressed.
I
So
want to help. That's the goal. I want to help.
I know. All right, so thank you for expressing all of that, my friend, and we'll continue on.
Okay. Thanks, bro.